Yeah. I get that feeling in my stomach, like I'm feeling for a come up, like a pregnant woman eating for her unborn son or daughter. Serial killer with a splash of cold milk. These men are built by weight, lactic acid, home skills. For the massive more meals, for the gastric hole still. Listen, we may clash, but the titans don't chill. This is food for thought, food for you all. We ain't the news, just a crew with the tools for the sport. Fast food.
You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
New Kendrick Lamar album dropped on Friday. Album entitled Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is his fourth album.
I think it's his fifth.
The first album was Good Kid, Mad City.
Section 80 was his first.
It wasn't an album.
That's a mixtape.
No, it's an album, but it's not a big label album. So
then, okay, so based on that, what we...
And then are we counting Untitled and Mastered or not?
No.
So
I feel like that was just like a Lucy thing. So, but I think it's five. Whether you count Unmastered or you don't, or whether you count Section 80 and you don't, I think it's five. I think he's dropped five.
Let's say he's got four commercial
releases. Yeah, he's on Aftermath, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, and that's what Universal. Is that Universal?
In the
scope.
Interscope Records, man.
What do you think of the album? Talk to me so far, because I'm going to talk about what's the whirlwind around it since it's dropped.
I think an album that's only been out for 4 hours or something like that. I think it's very. I think the narrative is very overhyped at the moment.
Right. What
I respect that.
As in what the narrative, what the positive or negative narrative that is overhyped.
The narrative of the album, like I don't think you can have. Maybe it's just me. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can have an album. You can make an honest, review of something that's only been out for like 4 hours or something.
Yep. Truth.
Like
I respect that
feel
highly.
Like, because of who he is. Because of who he's positioned himself in regards to like his lyrical content and the way he carries himself, and he only drops a project like every certain amount of time, and yada yada yada. And in comparison to his peers, he's definitely an elite lyricist. I just think that, bro, a minute past midnight when the album dropped, there's people calling it a classic album. I can't respect your opinion on something that you can't listen to an album within a minute. So how can a minute past 12 you say it's a classic album? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make no sense.
What do you feel is the recipe for a classic? Like, because I'll leave it at that.
I think a recipe for a classic album is something that lives. No matter what time zone we're in, no matter how many years have gone by, that album sounds like it's come out today or that year. Mm-hmm. There's some Jay-Z albums. As much as I love them, they do have a dated type of feel to them. Like Hard Knock Life Volume 2, which was like his biggest one sales-wise and all that. And that was like his, excuse me, that was like his coming out party in the charts and all that.
Yeah.
There's some of the beats on there, sick as they are, they don't really knock like in this current era. Right. Just because of like some of the beats sound a little bit like of that time, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but isn't that what's meant to? That's why we call it a classic.
Yes,
because it shaped culture in that moment in time.
In that moment in time, yeah. But some albums age better than others.
Yeah. So then, what you're saying is it could be a classic, but it's not timeless.
Right. So, but then that might be two different things, though. A classic album,
I think a classic is it shapes everything and culture around that time.
It brings you back there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think
brings you back to that time.
I don't think within 48 hours you can say this is a classic.
Yeah.
Or timeless.
Okay.
Definitely
first of all, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ask you what you think of the album so far since it's been dropped.
So I've listened to the album twice.
Yeah.
And it just further rubber stamps what my opinion of Kendrick is that I think he's this generation's Andre 3000.
Trim.
My humble and honest opinion is that he's the last of the greats, 100%. I don't know. I haven't even had a sniff that anybody else could follow him as far as being one of, the who could follow after his footsteps.
Yeah.
I really don't. As far as coming from a great lyricist and, you know, amazing artist.
Yeah.
His thing is his artistry. He's out of this world.
He's taken it to another level.
He is. This project that he's done, it's huge. But that's because of, you know, he's had so much time to think about it and put so much into it.
Yeah.
And he is respected. Kendrick Lamar's not respected in how can I explain? He's respected in the hood. He's respected by the magazines and the this, and everybody gives him awards for his music.
What did he get an award for? That's what he smashed it for. A Pulitzer.
Yeah, big. That's like scientist shit. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, and he was born in the hood, but he's not hood. He's not hood. He obviously the music industry think very highly of him. He doesn't fuck with them. He doesn't fuck with the media. You get what I'm saying? And I think, and also he champions the underdog and the people that are going through some shit. Obviously, by looking at the video and seeing the different faces, those people like, you know, Jesse Smollett and Kanye that were in the
video,
Yeah.
Part 5.
But just regarding the album itself, what do you think of it so far? How do you feel about the album?
How do I feel about the album? I've listened to it 2 or 3 times. I need time. I'm old school.
Right, cool. My thing was, right, and it's along the lines of what Drizzy spoke about. Not only, all right, so the album came out midnight, right, for us. So when I woke up, I knew Kendrick Lamar album would be out. It was the first thing I did was pick up my phone, go to Spotify, download the motherfucker, because on the way to work, that's what I was going to listen to. By the time I got into work, had a coffee, started work, I looked at the timeline and people were already judging the album, but in a negative way. So for example, I had a good friend of mine who's cool. Me and him know each other via Clubhouse, Breezy. He tweeted, I humbly, no, first of all, he said, the new Kendrick Lamar album is arse. The Heart Part 5 is better than the whole album, right? And you know the Heart Part 5 is not even on the album. It's not even on there, right? About 15 hours later, he then tweets, I humbly take back everything I said about the Kendrick album. It's actually great.
Great.
And this is what pisses me off with social media, fake critics, people who think they know about music. They judge something based on, and don't forget how many records is on this album. It's like 2, it's a double CD, right? So you've gone through all of that material and then you've gone, shit.
18 tracks?
You've already gone, nah, I'm not feeling this, right? Then if you go on the Tuck Shop and you go onto, the Tuck Shop is a WhatsApp group with my cousins, a couple other dons, shout out Wezzy, shout out Mo, shout out my cousin Wesley Craig, shout out to Crisis. They were on it talking about the fact that it was a lot of noise and it didn't move them. And I'll get the messages up because and this is why when
You sound fed up, bro.
Yeah, no, because this is what happens, Trim. This is what I do, Trim.
This is like music filters.
Yeah.
The filter version of the music.
It sounded like a lot of noise, but I was listening to it in poor speakers, so maybe the finer tuned headphones will change my mind. First of all, why have you got shit speakers, bruv? And why would you listen to Kendrick Lamar's album on shit speakers? Right? Then my cousin Mo goes, not gonna deny Kendrick Lamar is an exceptional MC. There's layers to the music. I'm gonna listen to it again, but he says, it wasn't an enjoyable listen. It wasn't an enjoyable listen. I said that's a howler.
right? First and foremost. That's a howler. Then, when I went back today, I mentioned to all of them, this is why the critics annoy me, and you type of people annoy the shit out of me, because this is an album from Kendrick Lamar, right? Who no longer needs to prove anything to me,
nothing,
or you. He's had enough body of work to know that this guy is an established, well thought out lyricist who knows what he's doing with his music. So take that away. And just think in 2022 now, we're here, and this is his thoughts, his new ideas, and his new growth as an artist, right? And this is where we're at right now. He's put it all down on the table. He even tells you in the album he had writer's block. And all you did was you press play, went, and then gave it a criticism. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. And people will have to, if you don't want to, it's up to you, but people are going to have to take back what they said, because what's going to happen is you're going to listen to it more and you're going to start thinking to yourself, flipping hell. Some people just don't get it as well. Yeah. Some people, because I understand obviously the Heart 5 isn't on the album. Yeah. But I struggled. I struggled with listening to it. You did?
I struggled with listening to it.
The group, didn't he?
I mentioned
yes, you did. You did.
I mentioned it, and I had a shouts out to Kutch, my brethren Aaron. Yeah, big up Aaron. Turkey, proper student of this music. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Love him to death and that. And I said to him, I said, is there something wrong with me? And why haven't I been able to absorb or digest this track? Because other people have said it's a masterpiece. Other people have said how great it is.
Which was too early to say, though.
Yeah, but it was said. Yeah. And I think what it is because we're from this microwave culture. Yeah. It's easy for us to say stuff like that now, because everything we do happens quickly based on technology, and society and this, that, and the third. But the problem that I had was, and Aaron broke it down to me, we actually spoke about it, because I was so concerned, because I was like, I manage artists, I work with producers. Yeah. So for me to now not understand this, I was like, this could be to my detriment. Possibly. Yeah. And why is it that the other people are getting it and you're not commenting on it and I don't? Yeah. So Aaron, he chopped it up.
What did he say?
He said this. He said there's 3 huge factors going on in this song. He said, first and foremost, the production is very big. Mm-hmm. It's very heavy. It's a large sound. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Not only that, but Kendrick Lamar is not conventionally rapping to the song. Mm-hmm. He is barking. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's a poet. Mm-hmm. So so it's not for you to, sometimes with people that think like that, it's not to expect them to do things conventionally. Right. He's not conventional. Yeah. Not only that, but then he also, so it was the production, it was the offbeat rap, it was off. Yeah. There was another third thing, I can't remember.
Is it because he was rapping from the perspective of who he was representing in the video? Because I feel like that kind of doesn't get looked into as well.
Which is a good point, but let me hold you. Yeah. The other third part was... Yeah. Let me not hold you. The other part was the video. Yes. So mentioning, so the video, so the representation, but not only that, but the artistry of the video was so huge. And Aaron said, you've got 3 massive factors to concentrate on. You're not, some people are, he said, I know how you process things. Right. I know how your brain receives information. Right. It's all 3 factors are too big at once. Yeah. He said, if you listen to it more frequently, get into it or whatever, you'll sink. Yeah. You'll sink into it and it'll get it. But this is what that was. And I was like, bro, thank you so much. Because as soon as he said it, I could relax. But I really was taken back. It really did affect me.
It's interesting. It really matters. It's interesting to me why that happens, because now you're saying that to me, Trim. I'm guessing that a lot of people felt like you, and the impact of the album dropping had that same effect on a lot of people, where they didn't take it in properly, or they didn't receive it the way that. Because is that all right, mate? The question I want to ask you, is it because so much other music outside of Kendrick Lamar's album is
clicky and easy to absorb,
and we're used to that, and we're used to that,
yes,
and we're used to that fast food. Excuse the pun.
Yeah.
We're used to that.
No, we'll take it.
We're used to that generic, radio-friendly, driven sounds that cut through. It's produced for a infant's ear.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I think.
We're saturated with that.
I understand what you're saying, but I think there's a few artists who drop albums that counter what you're saying.
Right.
As much as some people have a love-hate relationship with him, Kanye West, for example, his music is very disruptive.
Yes.
Like, even going back from College Dropout, as easy on the ear it was and all that, it's a disruptive album because we were used to hearing about the hustler, the guy in the street corner, went from nothing to something. Whereas Kanye came with the, I don't know about that life. I have people around me about that. I'm going to speak to you about. This. Man gave us a track and he put it out as a single called Jesus Walks. That's a disruptive record.
He was talking about getting your diplomas and what was it really worth going to college and things of that nature.
That in itself is disruptive because he's basically saying, is it really about the end all be all just going to university and that's it? Because he was mocking, there was a skit was like, I may not have a girlfriend, but I may not break my virginity, but I got me a diploma. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he was mocking the thing in a weird kind of way. He wasn't saying don't get it, but he was saying that's not the end all and be all of your life. Do you know what I mean? And if you can balance having your academic education with life education of being being streetwise and all that, smart. That's a nice smart. That's a balance. But I'm not before I lose my point.
Yeah.
With you saying about the music that's coming out and all that, I still think that when we were growing up, we were getting access to the music before we get access to the visuals.
Right.
It's only when the album used to drop and then the single was pinpoint, that's the single, we'd get a video.
Yeah.
With the Heart Part 5, even though I still think the Heart Part 3, 4 was dope. 4 came out like 2017, 4 is dope.
Yeah.
I heard the Heart Part 5 before I saw the visuals. Yeah. So I was taking it on merit of the audio.
Right.
So I'm like listening to it.
Which is two different things.
So when I saw the video, I was like, oh shit.
It makes sense. And
when he was saying certain, like you could hear in the rap, he's talking
from a perspective.
Nipsey. Especially that last verse. Yeah. I heard that verse and I was like, right, he's sounding like he's from Nipsey's point of view because he talks about Sam. Then when I saw the video, I was like, okay, it makes sense. But you got people like Pusha T, for example. There's nothing on Pusha T's album that is radio friendly. No. And that album, I'm still listening to that album to this day.
Cold.
So it depends. I guess what you're saying is there's more of the guys being pushed forward as opposed to It's Almost Dry album or, Mr. Morale, Big Stepper out. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think it comes down to the person and what they're looking for. And again, how you receive music and what you listen to in music is 100% different to me.
Yeah.
And 100% different to you. Yeah. Because I look at music and I listen to music, especially hip hop, which is my favorite genre. I listen to words because I'm a writer and I listen to cadences. I listen to I ask the questions of why did he rap that way on it? Because what made him? Because what I will do with songs that I really like on albums, I'll start rapping over it myself, and I'll rap the way I feel about it, and it's definitely different to how Kendrick will do it.
When you first heard the song, was the first time you heard the song when it just came out?
What we're talking about?
Heart 5, sorry.
Yeah.
So can you say that when you heard the Heart 5, that you knew what he was talking about straight away when you first heard it?
No, I didn't.
How many times did you have to listen to that track?
I had to dissect it and digest it. It would have been. But what was astounding to me was the wordplay.
It's amazing.
Off top, it was just like, okay, he's back. Kendrick Lamar's back. It's like it was a reminder. It's like when Hove drops all the time. He's just reminding you now because he's got so much back catalogue that every time he just drops a verse, he just goes, "Yeah, I'm still here. I can still do this. It's easy." You get me? And then so with that, but then what it was for me was, it's like there's only a certain amount of artists that we have in our culture that we should exalt. Yeah, because you've got the ratchet, you've got all the artists that talk about killing each other, you've got all the artists that
the mumblers,
shootouts and everything and all of that, and that's cool for you if that's your thing. I'm not taking it away from you, but when you got artists like Kendrick Lamar, a Kanye Cole. West, a Hove, J. Cole, and the artists that put layers in their music. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. You don't have to do anything. No. You should.
I would
recommend you to just live with it for a little while. Because you know what happened to me? Yeah, you know what happened to me? Friday, I was like, wow, this album's out. And I was just listening to it. I didn't even care what he was saying. But by the time I got to this morning and I'm getting ready to come to link the man then for the podcast, it's on in the background and I'm going to myself, Jesus Christ, did he
really say that?
Wow.
He just said that.
Because you got N95 on the record, right? And N95 is talking about the world outside. And the world we live in with the internet is not real.
Nope.
And he was putting himself in a position of, listen, he's telling you this on his whole album, I am you lot. Don't think that what you lot are going through, I don't go through. I am you. We have the same, I have the same feelings, I have the same outlook on life, I have the same perspectives. But at the same time, what he's saying to you is, you need to change. You need to take yourself out of that hole. Pause. You need to take yourself out of that internet space, right? For example, he spoke,
conditioned, programmed train of thought.
Yeah, because how I filters trim. Because how I digested it was Clubhouse, Twitter, Facebook, and I was just like, yeah, I need to put that down. I'm going on holiday in 3 weeks time, and I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to take some pictures and I'm going to put my phone down. That's all I'm going to do. And I want to see what that is like for a week, for 7 days.
Know what you should do?
Yeah.
Bring a camera.
Yeah.
So if you want to take pictures.
Get the missus to do it. Or get the missus to take pictures. But I'm going to go on holiday to read a book, swim in the ocean with my son, and get a suntan. Right? Okay. And do you see now? Can you see how an artist like Kendrick Lamar can trigger thoughts like that?
Big time. Whereas there's other artists
where cool when you're in the gym and all them things there.
Yeah, to get you gassy.
To get you gassy, but
fizzy pop.
Yeah, fizzy pop, bruv. You get me?
But
that's why it's called pop.
There are artists, the real steppers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
worldwide steppers.
The ones that have been around the world and those Donnies there will always say something that's going to trigger something in you.
Yeah.
And I'm a Hove Avenger. I'm apologetic about that.
Yeah.
But when that 444 came out, the general consensus was, yo, man, we need to start looking at how we're representing ourselves in these streets and our money and get our money up. Like the artists that always have a message to say, and they might sugarcoat it for you because I dumbed down. What did he say? I dumbed down my lyrics to keep the cash register ringing in.
Yeah.
He says that. Jay-Z said that. He's fully self-aware. I dumbed down my lyrics so I can reach a wider audience. But there were still bars and songs on each album that make you go, I can't wear this no more. I can't do this. I need to think more about this. I need to think about this.
Or the money
phone. People were mad at him about it, like, he's this the young generation. He's not. He's saying
a lot of young people thought about not doing it
because
that's
you're showing. What's the old saying? If everything you own is what you're showing me right now, then you don't own much.
Hove said in one of Pusha T's records that I blew bird money. Now, if you listen to that bar, he could have many, many, many entendres, right? And when you say you blew bird money, I know that's a shot at. I know who's I know who's shooting out there, right? Yeah. But
he's talking to me about your Twitter feed. He said I blew bird money, and you're talking to me about your Twitter feed.
And I think he's talking to Birdman too. Yeah. And saying, that money that you got, I blew that already, right? Yeah. I've got. I can spend you. I've got that on my wall. Your house is on my wall.
Your mansion's on my wall,
right? And all those things, right? So let me just go through this. Worldwide Steppers, excellent record. N95, amazing. Die Hard, right? Let me get to this. There's a song called Beautiful. No, there's a song called Die Hard that is beautiful. I love it. Father Time. Ooh. When you listen to Father Time, he's talking about his childhood. He's talking about the daddy issues that he's had. Yeah. And it's very interesting how he's flipped it, because usually daddy issues pertains to women. Yeah. But he's talking about his daddy issues. Yeah. Now, I'm with my son yesterday and I'm with my nephew, shout out to Angel. And they're playing in the back garden and Shia falls down on the floor. Shia grazes his arm. He runs in crying his eyes out. Daddy, daddy, daddy. I cut myself crying. And the father issue in me is
protect him.
No. Man
up.
Right, the opposite.
Yeah, I cry for.
Get up.
Fix up. That not hurt you. You're not bleed. Just wipe it off. Go into the bathroom. Go speak to your mother. Those kind of things kicked in, that innate.
You didn't say, "Are you okay?"
So I had to take this is the thing. I had to take myself. I had to look in myself and say, "Hold on a minute. Let me see what he's feeling." And he's crying his eyes out. I was like, "All right, boobs, come." So I took him to the bathroom, ran his elbow under the tap. He's crying, dad. I said, listen, I'm gonna put some Vaseline on it. I'm gonna put a little plaster on it, and you go back outside and you'll be fine. And then he was like, and then Angel will come in and said, "Chai, you're gonna be okay." Boom, 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 because he's upset because his cousin's upset.
Naturally,
right?
Beautiful.
So after I've patched him up, he's gone out back into the garden and done the same thing that he was doing before. And when we're talking about our fathers and the way that they affect our lives, it's a very true thing. And it's a very real thing. And that was, again, when Kendrick Lamar talks about that record, definitely as men, we're going to resonate with it so much more.
No, that was I'm not sure who's got something to say, but that's the album to me, this song in the album, that I could relate to the most. Right. And I paused it, I took 5, I started back from the top, and then I paused it again. It took me like 3 or 4 times to get through the whole record. Yeah. I paused it, and then he says something. I won't take away from it because I see it's written there, but he says something, and it was like, he says, maybe that's a reflection of where I still need to grow. Mm-hmm. And there's certain things that I know talk about it. I'm working on.
Yeah, the Kanye Drake, the Kanye Drake line.
Yeah. But there's certain things that I know from my experience that I've had in similar situations like that bar that I've always struggled to just be at peace with. Right. There's certain things that will trigger me about it, and I think about it, and then it kind of gets my back up against the wall.
Yes.
And I am working on that, but I need to do better to just be at peace with it. Like, I'm at peace with, I've come to the conclusion that I need to not worry about things that's happening outside my house.
Right.
Or that's not happening to people that I care for or have direct access to. Because I used to try and think that I have to worry about every wars going on here that I have to work. No, like, you have to be a little bit selfish sometimes and only worry about it when it comes on your doorstep.
Right.
And I know sometimes, depending on how you word that, can come across like, well, that's messed up, what you don't care about. What's that? I do care, but what can I do? I can't do nothing. That's what happens to Trim, and Trim's not blowing down my phone like, yo, Triz, I'm in the ends, this happening. I'll worry about it because, like, when I'm in the area, Trim's under he's in some madness or whatever. That's what affects me because I can now go and meet Trim and try to resolve the issue. Same thing with you.
Yeah.
So that song on the album definitely resonated with me. But Trim, I know you wanted to.
Oh, Trim.
No, I'm good. No,
right.
My aspect was coming from like the father side of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and he's done the actual song was deep. I just want to go back to it. Like, listening to you lot talking about it just makes me want to listen to it again.
Yeah.
And again and again.
So my favorite record, right, was the record I played at the top of the album, top of the podcast, called Mr. Morale. but there's another joint on there called We Cry Together. Yeah. That tune there, Toxic Greatness.
Is that the one with the F you this, F
Yeah,
you that?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie to you, bro. I find that a bit jarring. Maybe I need some more time. I find it a bit jarring, bro.
Toxic
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the whole F you, and I understand what the point was. I feel like it just got a little bit jarring. Like he let it roll on for just a little bit too long.
What you can't do with the record is just play it outwardly around. I can't play that with my son and Shia, my wife. It's not one of those records because there's a lot of profanity on it.
Listen to it, but do stuff so that
do some.
Do you know what I've noticed?
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning up, tidying up, doing that, I put it on.
Yeah.
I just let it ride.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then what happens is subliminally, things jump out at you.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Trim.
That's on purpose.
We Cry Together, yeah, is it's the record.
That's interesting.
The record itself, right? You hear two people, a couple, a girlfriend and boyfriend, husband and wife, clashing, right? And they're going backwards and forwards with each other. But by the time they get to the third verse, they're talking about the narratives that's painted with a male and female, like males towards females and females towards males. Yeah. So he's talking about how the fact that all you lot do is filter your that fake shit that you lot do, or what you lot as women hate each other, but
you can't
even get along. You lot don't get along with each other.
Female
R&B singers.
R&B singers.
They don't feature on their own. Yeah, that's the thing. I was like,
and
he's not lying.
He's not.
He's not lying. He's telling the truth. They're gonna have to step up.
And the back and forth. So when you break down the record itself, yes, apart with all of the profanity and the hook, which is I feel like you're alluding to, the actual writing of the verses is second to none. Right. Then you've got this record called Purple Hearts featuring Summer Walker and Ghostface Killer. Allow it. Yeah. Just allow it.
And he's got his own day now as well.
Oh my!
You know what's his name's got his own day?
Who?
Ghostface in New York. He's got his own day. He's been given his own day in New York. But anyway, sorry. Go back.
No, that record. I'm gonna. That's my intermission record.
What's it called? Something sober. Is it? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. You're talking. Hold on. Mother I Sober.
Yeah, that's the one with the
very deep record. That's towards the end of the album. That's third or second.
Oh, that's what I did as well. I didn't go from the start.
Okay.
I didn't want to feel like I was being manipulated.
No, you should.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's a body. It's a body.
Yeah, of course, I get it, and I did do that. But I thought, do you know what? Let me hear it. Let me hear the last track first.
Right.
And I went that way.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, I went. This is
Interesting. So you got Count Me Out, Clown, amazing records. Silent Hill featuring Kodak Black, which Kodak Black was all over this, and I've got a newfound liking for Kodak Black now. I never really, I like Kodak Black as a personality, but I never gravitated to his music like that.
I think Kodak might have, you know what I mean, on that track still.
He went out.
I'm having to listen to it again, but I just felt like Kodak. He was like, I don't know who this Kendrick guy is.
Yeah, he went in.
I'm getting on this song and just spaz.
He went in.
You know what I mean? He wasn't playing no games.
Silent Hill featuring Kodak Black. Check that out. You got Survivor. That's an amazing record. Auntie Diaries, deep record, and that is a record that's gonna, again, you're gonna be very opinionated about it because obviously he's talking about his auntie who's now trans.
Yeah.
Right. So very interesting record to listen to, and his take on that. Again, you said Mother I Sober, very deep record, and Mirror. So what I will say to everybody who's listening to this podcast today is give it time, listen to the album, digest it as a whole, and then go, okay, I like it, I don't like it. It's a classic, it's not a classic. It's a masterpiece. It's something that I will listen to on occasions or I won't. But let's not do the 24-hour shit that just really, really grinds my gears. Like there's more to Kendrick Lamar than meets the eye. But it's like we've got to keep told. It's like we have to keep being told about artists such of this nature. It's like Nas, you like just leave Nas alone. Nas, when he puts out a body of work, enjoy it. That's all you need to do. If you like it or not, that's another question. But when those artists put music out, digest it. Digest it.
Yeah, they just think differently, so you have to give it the respect it deserves.
I think so. And on that note, I'm gonna play this record because I think this record definitely resonates with me. And yeah, Purple Hearts, Kendrick Lamar, Summer Walker, Ghostface Killer. Check it out.
Tony.
I go by the name of Morgan Heights, Trimmer, who's got the keys to my bimmer, Drizzy, Saka Freckles. We are back for a brand new season 5 of the Fast Food Podcast. Remember, it is available on all DSPs, iTunes, Spotify, Soundcloud, and Google Podcasts. Visual episodes are available on our YouTube channel. That is Fast Food Podcast TV. Peace.
Yeah.